Good morning and almost afternoon for everyone, or to everyone. This is Mike Saag. This is our day 3. It's hard to believe it's already that time of the Ryan White Clinical Conference. I'm very, very pleased to co-host this with Dr. Laura Cheever and Dr. Allison Agwu. And so just to the co-chairs, what are you thinking so far?
It's been amazing. I've come in past years, but not ever able to attend the entire thing. And I think amazing talks. I can think of 2 yesterday. Roger Bedima was fabulous. So was Rachel Bender. But I think even better than the talks was the interaction between and the moderation team and the questions. That was really fantastic and rich.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I think in Roger's talk, which was about weight gain related to antiretrovirals, just the audience chiming in and saying, why would we be doing this if this is causing all this weight gain, and shouldn't we be rethinking the whole thing? I think that was really forward thinking. We'll see where the guidelines go, but I appreciated the sort of real world practicality of dealing with patients who have now multiple comorbidities.
Yeah, I think that's been the hallmark of this meeting all along, but I think it's especially true this year. It seems like we're hitting on a lot of the themes that folks are encountering in practice and very practical application. We'll see what the audience thinks, but I'm pretty happy with how things are going. And before we go any further, we're going to do this at the end, but I just wanted to thank the entire crew who's helped made this come off as flawless, really. The IAS-USA team, the NCRC team out of Rutgers, the Capital Reach team. There's a lot of folks behind the scenes. You sort of saw that in the video lead-in of what's going on behind the scenes, but it's really quite dynamic and very, very effective. And you guys have really helped share this in a great way. So I think we're going well. Let's keep it going. Next slide. We have a pre-test that we sent around, and overall 57% success. That was anticipated because the topics that were asked in the pre-test will also be asked in the post-test, and we expect to see a dramatic improvement because that's the topics we've covered. So pay attention, and then you'll do a whole lot better on the post-test. Next. So we have connecting with social media. That was going really well until yesterday, when Facebook and all these things went down. And I'm wondering if that thumbs down is also because the whistleblower is testifying on Capitol Hill this morning, sort of competing with our conference. But yeah, that for today, but it's back. And so please feel free to tweet about the meeting, go to our social media page on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you'd like. But also, a lot of you have noticed the chat feature is now active, so you can chat with one another, say hello to your friends. Let us know who's there. A lot of folks have already done that. Just type in your name and where you're from, and I think you'll be amazed at how much of the country is represented on this in this conference. So please take advantage of that. Next slide. So today, fabulous lineup. We start off with our own Dr. Agwu, who's going to talk to us about comorbidities in adolescence. And we're having a lot of folks transition from the children's clinics to the adult clinics, and understanding what these comorbidities are, especially even if you're not working in an adolescent clinic, is very important. So we're really pleased to have that as our lead off. Then Tim Wilkin from Weill Cornell Medical Center in New York is going to talk to us about non-AIDS associated cancers. And there's a lot of them, but key would be anal carcinoma, among others. Then, of course, depression. And that's been aggravated and exacerbated by the COVID pandemic, not just for patients, for a lot of us as well. And we're really pleased to have Francine Cornos from Columbia to address that with us. And then we'll wrap up with a fabulous perinatal HIV care and prevention case-based discussion. It'll be similar to what I did yesterday for antiretroviral therapy, except it's going to focus on perinatal. You'll notice that we did not talk about pregnancy yesterday, and that was deliberate because we knew we'd have this panel today. And then we have our wrap up and break, and then we come back for our breakout sessions. Next slide. It'll go. So speaking of breakouts, this is a audience-based poll of which did the breakouts did you attend yesterday? If you did not, just hit number 5. Let's go ahead and start the polling. This could be intent to attend, like intent to treat. You know, you didn't really have to go, just I really wanted to go, but I couldn't make it, you know, whatever. Okay, so fair number of folks were in the breakouts, a fair number of folks weren't. Okay, so that's fine. We're going to have them again today. So hopefully you can make them. Next. And then another poll question. If you did attend the breakout, did you turn your camera on? Remember, turning the camera on sort of lets us know who's there. It's a little bit like Shakespeare at the beginning of Hamlet. Who's there? We don't know until we actually see your camera on. So let's take that vote real quick. You know, if you turn your camera on, you won't have to listen to this annoying music. That's a bonus. Just saying. Okay, most people didn't. We knew that. But we're trying to encourage people to do it today. And one thing I learned in my session that we should just have the mics open for ad lib use, because otherwise it's cumbersome to activate and deactivate. So we're going to have the mics available for you. And then we have the breakouts today with the speakers as you see listed here. And maximum attendees is 100 per. If I'm just going to announce that for those of you who attended my session yesterday, I'm going to do more or less the same cases at the beginning, just to give you a heads up. So it's not going to be any different, except for the last part where we talk about cases among ourselves. Next. All right, so I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Cheever, who will introduce our first speaker. Dr. Cheever.